If you're ready to maximize your free time, deal less with the stresses of the day, and really get on with savoring every minute of your life after your career, then you're in the right place. Great ideas, tips, and inspiration to help make your life after all that work stuff richer, fuller, and more of what you want. This is Smart Retirement Life.
Hi, my name is Mark Hager, and you're listening to Smart Retirement Life, a show where we cover ideas, inspiration, products, and services that can help keep you creating the life that you want. And today I'm talking with Bijou Lulla, founder and CEO of smaart.house, a technology provider for aging in place in the San Diego area. He helps people learn how technology can help them stay safe, healthy, and comfortable at home while helping them prepare for later in life. Welcome, Bijou. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Mark, thank you for having me on your show.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you on the show here. I know we've had some conversation previously. I'm really excited about some of the things that you're doing. It's very, very innovative, I feel like, something that I've been waiting to see for several years. And I'm not going to get too much into it because I want you to be able to talk about what you're doing. So why don't you tell us a little bit about smaart.house and what you provide people?
Mark, we're in the technology for aging in place. That's the space we work in. So we have three legs to our solutions. Number one is basic home automation, where in which folks can control their lighting, their security, their entertainment, and their comfort via voice. So you can power on your lights, which put your lights on and off, have certain routines or scenes for your lighting. You can say good night and on your lights, go to sleep. Get off at night. You can set your room temperature at, say, I want my room at 76 degrees or whatever is your comfort level. You can say, hey, you can pull up your favorite TV program, put the TV on and off, and control all these via voice interactions. So that's what we do in home automation, and that helps a lot of folks who are challenged physically, and some of them even challenged mentally. It works and helps them to live comfortably, conveniently, and securely in their homes. They can speak to somebody who's at the door without getting to the door. They can lock and unlock the door, again, all via voice command. So there's a big security element to this also. So one part of what we do is home automation. And the other thing that we do is for what we call wellness. This is for remote caregiving, and usually for adult children who are not in the same area as their parents. They want to monitor how their parents are doing at home. So we install sensors in senior homes. So we install bed sensors, medicine chest cabinet sensors. We install sensors on their refrigerators, in their bathroom doors. So all there we can do activity and behavior tracking and monitoring. So you can get notified on your smartphone. So if you're taking care of your parent or your companion, you can get notified on your smartphone when they have woken up, gotten out of bed, let's say had their 3 p.m. medication, how many times or that they have their meals. You can get notified every time they open the refrigerator. As also you can get notified on their bathroom visits. Now, most seniors have a fairly routine lifestyle, so they don't deviate from the norm. But so over time, when you have a whole trove of data of 2 or 3 years of data that you collect, so any deviations from these patterns can give you some insights into predictive health conditions. So, for example, if their bathroom frequency visits have increased during night times or even during daytime, for that matter, you can, it can give you a predictor into potential health challenges and call for advanced tests if required. There's also a confluence where healthcare and home care is going to intersect at some point in time, where smart healthcare and smart homes are going to intersect. So there's got a lot of new wearable devices going to come in the market, which can even track what your internal conditions are and measure those in terms of how your lifestyle is in the house, and that can glean into predictive health insights. So that's the other part what we do. The third solution that we offer is for fall management and detection. So there's lots of research or statistics out there that point that 1 in 4 of people ages 65 plus tend to fall, and usually typically within their own homes. And
Hmm.
those that fall, the repeat fall ratio is a good 30%. So, we were talking of big numbers here in terms of how many falls that happen as we get older, and these falls can have large ramifications on it can physically challenge you, as also be a big financial impact for many people. So when you fall, we have sensors that you would wear on your body. We have pendants or watches, which can detect that you have fallen, and they can trigger an emergency response. So there's a response center that gets notified, and they kind of call in right away to make sure that you are able, and rush any emergency services to you. So there's a number of solutions that we offer to enable people to stay in age, to age in place in their own homes.
You were hitting on all the right stuff. I got to tell you, eh, the the drivers, right? You've really nailed the drivers that people have, whether it's an older person themselves or an adult child. The things that are keeping them up at night, right, is how long am I going to be able to stay in my home? Because here's the thing. You've done this long enough to understand that a person will eventually get to the point to where you know they've their abilities maybe have diminished a little bit, just due to age, right? Or they may have a health condition, or they've fallen, and now they're presented with this new reality, and it's a very it can be a very stark slap in the face about this new reality they're living in. And they begin to wonder, how long can I keep doing this, right? Maybe even if I should. And that's especially true, I think, for adult children who worry about their parents, right? They're not there, maybe, or they're not there all the time. Um, they may be a long distance, they may be in the same town, but they're not going to be there all the time, and they're worried about them being able to do the things they need to do for their daily life, not just to take care of themselves, but also some of that preventative stuff that you were talking about. So I feel like that the path that you have taken with this, it's really answering some of those deep-seated fears that or concerns that people have. It's going to help them sleep a little bit better at night, but also with the older person, they want to stay in their home as long as they can. And implementing something like this, it gives them that foundation where they can, with the surety, say, I'm going to be a little bit better than I was yesterday because I have this underneath me now, right? I have this thing supporting me. And I just think that's fantastic. All right. So how did you get involved with this? I mean, where
Well,
did you get into this come from?
Well, we started our journey we are home automation integrators. Our broad level business that we do. So we do home automation for a variety of end users, like when people renovate their home, they upgrade their home. They like to integrate home automation, and that's just the way smart homes are progressing. And our homes are going in that direction. We want more digitalization and more smart integrated into our homes as we have with the rest of our lives. So, as we went along with our journey of smart homes, we found that, we were getting a lot of calls coming in from adults who were, in the 55, 60 range, who were planning long term, who were headed towards retirement or closer to retirement, or some even in retirement when they're 60 plus. We're looking to just, either resize their home or retrofit their home so they can manage to live there for or plan for the years ahead. And these folks are kind of familiar with technology. They're not technology experts or leaders, but they
Hmm.
use technology in their day-to-day lives. So they could understand the significance and meaning of the part that home automation could play for them. So we started getting a lot of calls from people, and we found that this group of people had there were some of them are able, but many of them either had some of the other physical challenge, or either the husband or the wife had some kind of physical compulsions where could not be actively involved or engaged in day-to-day activities, and they found home automation being a good use case for these kind of folks. Um, So that's where we found a lot of our initial success and response coming out from. We also found that to be a very untapped segment, as everybody, home automation can come across generations, but
Hmm.
we found that the best use cases is for adults and seniors who wish to live in their own homes because they can automate a lot of their activities. So that gave us a lot of encouragement. It also gave us a lot of sense of conviction, happiness when you do something, when you doing something good. It's a very feel good thing. So we've been reaching out to a lot of senior folks and communities, demonstrating to them what home automation can do and how it can fit into their lives. So it
Excellent.
was it was it was part of a discovery and as part of our journey.
It's interesting. I've I've been a home automation buff for years, and I've talked to many installers over the years about aging in place and home automation. And one of the things that really excited me about it early on was the level of customization. And I don't mean customization in terms of you can make it cooler, but customization in terms of you can make it individualized. And with this application, right, having these adults who want to remain in their homes or increase their quality of life or just make living easier in their homes, whatever it is, whatever their goals are, right? You can take this technology and you can customize it to the individual so they can have it do what they want to do if they so desire. I mean, obviously you have the general things that you can do that are just going to increase safety, maybe, increase, the chances of being able to figure out if they're experiencing a particular health issue or whatever, but it can go beyond that too to make to bring a greater level of enjoyment and satisfaction to their life. So I think that's pretty exciting. Very exciting. Um, how about a story about someone that your company has helped?
But we recently, and one thing is, I must admit that we don't have all the answers. And when we go to meet senior folks, everybody's got their own family situations
Hmm.
and physical or mental challenges. And we always keep trying to ask ourselves that how best we could integrate technology into somebody's life to enhance it. So a few days, well, about a week ago, I've been thinking of how technology can be used to tackle loneliness, early dementia, which is a problem plaguing our society.
Oh yeah.
It's a very underlying thing. It's
Hmm.
not very manifested, but it's very underlying when you meet with a lot of folks, and the first thing you find that they're lonely, and they're looking for companionship or resourcefulness. Just resources or people they can just talk to. So, with voice automation coming on board, that has broken. The barriers to technology adoption have crashed. Earlier, smartphones, before that, computers were all of the challenge for senior people to go up the learning curve. But with voice, they can speak in their own language.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep, there was this case about early onset dementia, and we met. There's a lady who lives alone, and her daughter was worried about the condition of her mom. Her daughter was also divorced, and she had a family, so she was running her own, challenges in terms of managing the time, and she could not devote the time and attention and resources required for her mom. So we got to talk, and we said, hey, let's try this. So we went and created a Facebook page for her mother, where we loaded on a lot of her old photographs, and we did scanning of those photographs where required, because many of these photographs were not were in print format, and the digital age was not invented for photographs.
Right.
So we did scanning of a lot of photographs. We did a lot of voice recordings and personalized messaging on let's say Alexa, which you can do. So we could play her daughter's messages to her mom at predictive times. That, hey mom, have you had your medication at 3 o'clock? Or hey mom, you know, have you had your 6 p.m. Have you had your dinner? So she could play these personalized messaging at given points in time, which we set it up. We put up another Amazon Alexa show device in her mom's home, so she could speak to her mom on video. And with an Amazon Alexa show, you don't need a telephone to speak to your loved ones. If you have somebody in your contact books, you can say, "Hey, call Martha," or "Hey, call mom," and the
Mm-hmm.
person dials up automatically, and you have a video. You can have a video conversation with somebody, so that makes it more personalized. You can see how the person is doing. So that was another additional communication facet. We also, like I said, created a Facebook page and digitized all the images, which we trained the caregiver. So when the caregiver went to her mom's home, she could use these multimedia tools to take her down memory lane, to play her back certain videos, of her recent daughter's visit. So she could, keep these with these triggers of family moments. She could be more relevant. So we use a couple of these pieces, and we're trying to imbibe these or integrate this in our lifestyle.
Can
Now,
I?
this is
Can,
one way. Sorry.
I want to. I hate to interrupt you there, but I'm just fascinated with what you're telling me, and I may cut this part out of the interview, but I need to ask this: do you or anybody on your team have a medical background?
No, we don't. We don't.
Because
We're not.
what you're talking about is memory care.
Broadly, yes.
I know it's broad, but it is what you're talking about, and it's fascinating that a home automation company is doing this. I'm like so giddy right now, I can hardly stand it.
Well, it's not something that it was. Like I said, each case is a discovery on its own. So if you think out of the box, and I'm sure if you're in a situation where you got to think out of the box, how do I do this? You're going to come up with the same or maybe even better ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So it is one thing how you leverage existing technology that's out there. You're not going out there to reinvent the wheel, but just leverage what is there before us, and it's not expensive. These are all inexpensive methods. They're not expensive methods that you need to invest or break the bank on.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is awesome. Well, I'm literally
But
just a little blown away today. I got to tell you.
yeah, it's a work in progress, and I'd like to go back and revisit the client a month out from now and
Mm-hmm.
see where they are, and hopefully I can report that back to you and give an update. Hey, have we moved the metric? How successful we have been. That'll be nice to know.
Well, I would like for you to do that, and I think for you guys and your future customers, you establish a baseline, and then you make the decision if that's something you want to iterate on, right? And just make incremental improvements or changes, and monitor again to see how they respond. You might be onto something big, really big. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
well, our perspective is always to make people's lives better. So we don't
Yeah,
think how big this can be, before the onset of our journey. Our first
right.
objective is, can we enhance somebody's life? If
Im-
it does, then we look at other people how we could leverage this. So
then impactful is a better word.
indeed, it is.
So what's on the horizon for you guys?
Well, there's a lot of technology that's being developed, and we're going to see how we can adopt that technology. There's a lot of innovative hardware and software, and let me just expound broadly on those. So there's a lot of new sensors that can, or what you call learning sensors that can also, at some point in time, measure the number of steps you're going to be taking in your house, whether your gait has changed over time. So that can give you predictive health insights if you're
Mhm.
becoming more sedentary, or if there's stoop that you've developed over time because you're either walking less or just due to old age. So the area of predictive health is something that we would like to be that is watching very closely how these devices could glean us and give us a glimpse of what our future health conditions would be. So that's something on the hardware side. On the software side, there's a lot of AI that's been going into these devices. So how do we automate routines? How do we understand and automate routines around your lifestyle? So you don't have to, repeat commands. If you're just used to lights coming on every at 5 o'clock, the lights to come on at 5 o'clock. You don't have to say it's 5. Uh, so stuff like that. So lots of developments on the hardware and software horizon that are happening. So we're watching these developments and how we could take them, bring them to our clients in terms of products and solutions. They're not fully baked when these technologies develop. They're not fully baked in terms of can it provide a solution to somebody. So it's our job to see how we can translate these technologies into real life solutions for our clients.
Awesome. Very, very good. Now I'm going to ask you a question that I ask everybody that I interview, just because I like to hear about what people are doing in their own communities. How is Smart House involved in your local community right there? Okay.
So we like to give back by sponsoring low-income communities, getting home automation into their homes. The recent case was about a month ago, where we retrofitted entire home of a wounded war veteran with home automation. So the wounded veteran was a quadriplegic, and he had limited resources and no family to support him. So we went into his house and we automated all his lighting. We put in security controls at his door, an automated lock. We put in a video doorbell at his door so he could, answer and see somebody who's at the door. We got him he had a television, which he had to upgrade to a smart television. We got somebody to sponsor that for him, and we fitted an electronic device where he could put on the telephone, he could put on and off the television via voice, and he could play his favorite programming. So we did all of that. That was a great case that we did about a month ago, and it really made our Thanksgiving holiday.
Wow, that is awesome. Very, very good. I've got quite a few clients who are remodelers that do a lot of work with vets, and so that's something near and dear to my heart. I'm really glad to hear that you guys are involved with that. All right, so why don't you tell people how they can get in contact with you?
Well, the best place is visit our website, www.smaart.house. Now, we pride ourselves in being extra smart, so smart as an SMAART, smarts.house. My email is Bijou, that's BIJOU, at smart, SMAART.house, HOUSE. And so this is the best way to reach me at, and all my contact information is there on the website. So in case anybody wants to jump on a call, I'm happy to speak to folks at any time.
Excellent. And I'll also, when I post this on the site, I'll put those links up so people have easy access to them right here on AgeInPlace.com. All right. Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed hearing about how Smart House is helping people learn to use technology to keep them safe, healthy, and comfortable at home so they can age in place. Bijou, I thank you again so much for being here with me. I've really enjoyed our conversation and hearing about the work that you're doing.
Mark, thank you, and your listeners for having me on the show. Wish you the best.
All right. Well, thanks again for listening, everyone. I'm Mark Hager, and this has been Smart Retirement Life. Have a great day.